often ask us what are our top stocks to invest in, and today I'll tell you my top 1. We often do not disclose what stocks we invest in on this YouTube channel, not because we keep it a secret, but because you like to watch videos on a limited number of companies, for example, SoFi, Palantir, Sound, Nvidia, Neo, etc. Everything else gets past you and as a result gets less views for us, which sucks. So if you want us to make more videos on the stocks we are investing in real time, make sure to press the like button and to write a comment right now before I move on. So the stock of the company that I will analyze today is very unique because I liked it some time ago because of the strong fundamentals, and I just recently came back from Indonesia where I got to use the service of this company and to actually compare it to the competitors. The fact that I used it and overall experience changed my mind about this company and changed the way I will invest in it, and this company is Grab. Hey there and welcome to the Market Monkeys channel, it's Julia here, and today I will break down Grab. I will explain why it's a great company, how Uber have actually lost the competition to Grab in Southeast Asia. We will talk about the fundamentals briefly, about recent earnings results, and why I like this company in general. So basically Grab is like a Swiss army knife of apps in Southeast Asia. We're talking Malaysia, Philippines, Thailand, Indonesia, etc. It started as a ride-hailing app like Uber, for example, but quickly expanded into food delivery, grocery shopping, package delivery, digital payments, and even banking. Need a ride? Grab. Hungry? Grab. Need to send the package? Grab. This is a super app, and this is not the term that I've made up myself. The management of the company calls it a super app, and the company is succeeding in managing all of it. So during my 2-week trip to Indonesia, I just came back. I used Grab daily and often few times a day, and I need to say that experience was amazing. Whether I was in the heart of Bali or some faraway location that I did not expect that someone would actually pick me up, I waited for a ride not more than 3 to 6 minutes. The vehicles were clean, the vehicles were new, drivers were uniform, everything was professional, fast, and all of the experience felt very much like Uber in Western world. That's when it hit me. Grab isn't just doing well on paper and in fundamentals. It actually has a deep understanding of the Southeast Asian market, and it's not trying to copy Western business model of Uber or of Lyft, for example. It creates its own unique way of addressing the customers and is succeeding. For those of you who don't know, Uber have actually pulled out from Southeast Asia because this market is completely different from the Western world and from the market that we are having in our countries. The prices are much lower, but the labor cost is low as well. But besides that, everything starting from the customer's mentality to marketing, to business structure, the way people interact with business, everything is different completely. And this is where Uber failed. Uber wasn't able to operate this market, but Grab was actually created for this because it's Malaysian company, and it's not surprising that Uber have actually sold its operations to Grab in Southeast Asia. So remember when I told you that Grab felt like Uber? Maybe this is the reason. Now let's talk about the competition. So biggest competitor of Grab in Indonesia is Gojek, and I used both of these apps. I used both of these services to compare them and to understand which one is better and why. So basically Gojek is a little cheaper, about 5 to 10% cheaper, but the difference in service is insane. Grab was polished, Grab was perfect, it was professional, it was fast. Gojek, on the other hand, felt like a bunch of freelancers, just a random people picking you up with their motorbikes, which are old, not clean, drivers do not wear any uniform, and the general experience left me unsatisfied. So basically for Western tourists, especially one coming from an expensive country, the choice is obvious. The price is not an issue because both are insanely cheap. If you're going further away, you will pay $2 to $3 per ride, and if you want to use this ride hailing in the range of a couple of kilometers, you will pay up to $1. But I need to say that I noticed that locals and tourists from less expensive countries prefer to use Gojek, and actually using Gojek much more. It's much more popular. So I thought to myself that Grab have actually positioned itself to be this more premium app. Probably they have higher gross margins than Gojek, but I noted that they will most likely lose this quantitative battle. And ironically, after coming back, I opened the news, and the first thing that I see that Grab is actually tries to acquire GoTo Group, Gojek's parent company. So it seems like Grab's management realized the same thing that I did and decided not to fight Gojek, but to actually buy them. And this is fair enough strategy, especially if there is no strict antitrust policies in Malaysia and Indonesia. By the way, for those of you who have premium subscription on Seeking Alpha, you can find my content, my articles over there, my analysis. I have written an analysis on Grab, and here on YouTube it's more story driven, and on Seeking Alpha it's more numbers driven. So I will be very happy to see all of you over there. And for those of you who don't have a subscription but wanted to create one, I actually have a couple of affiliate links left that will give you the discount, so you can reach out to me in the comments or on email that I will put here below. I have only few left. And of course, if you find this information interesting, valuable, don't forget to support this channel by pressing a like button, writing a comment and subscribing. Let's continue. So what makes Grab really different from other ride-hailing apps? It's the fact that it's this super app that I've mentioned on the beginning, and the company has, besides of ride-hailing, food delivery, package delivery, digital payments, lending, banking, and many other services that I will mention a little later, and it's all under one ecosystem, and this is incredible because it's actually working. And I have actually a funny example of how it works. So basically, a motorbike driver who just dropped me off at the restaurant immediately went to the same restaurant, picked up the food and delivered it to someone else. The same way it could work with package delivery, so it's basically like a postal service. Before I will continue explaining the business of Grab, I want to mention a couple of numbers that for me make this company very special as well. It's their profitability and growth. So basically Grab has posted positive net income for 2 consecutive quarters, which is great. That's a huge shift from $391 million loss in the year before that. Adjusted EBITDA for the year hit $313 million, and free cash flow turned positive at $136 million. Good job to the company. It's amazing that they've achieved 2 quarters of profitability. Don't forget that 2 quarters of profitability do not mean that the company will be profitable from now on. Everything can shift, but it's definitely a great sign, and I feel much safer investing in this company knowing that they're actually making money. Now, one of the most underrated part of Grab's business is this fintech expansion. So the company not only tries to be an Uber of Southeast Asia, it also tries to be SoFi technology. It has GrabFin, which is their lending, and in 2024, total loan disbursements hit $2.2 billion, with the loan portfolio surging 64% year over year. Even more interesting, its net cost of funds actually dropped, meaning it's getting more efficient. Then there is GX Bank. It's a digital bank which already has 1.2 billion in customer deposits. And the best part, that 9 out of 10 GX Bank users are already Grab users previously. So this is the definition of a sticky business. Besides that, they have Grab Unlimited. This is a subscription model, and the company claims that users that are subscribed spending 4 times more money inside of the app than regular users. And by the way, I saw similar numbers in Uber's presentation, so I tend to believe this claim. And of course it's great that people are spending more, but I wanted to make sure that people actually like this Grab Unlimited, because for example in my country Volt, an app for food delivery, tried to enter and to create this subscription model, and people were just pissed. People didn't want to pay for this. So I went to Reddit to check what people say about this Grab Unlimited. The reviews were mostly from Thailand, and people are actually happy. There are many dozens of reviews that say that Grab Unlimited is very worth it, that it's working great, that it saves the money, and that people are usually using only Grab to get everything they need. By the way, funny fact, on Seeking Alpha, when I uploaded this article, I got a bunch of comments from people from Singapore claiming that Grab has actually become a verb in Singapore. So people basically saying let's grab food, or if they need to order a taxi, they simply say let's grab. Good job to Grab, because this is amazing. I don't think that even Uber achieved this level of market share in any country. Now, I always try to stay as objective as I can, so let's talk about the risks, and of course Grab has some. For me, for example, the biggest risk is the fact that they're trying to do everything at once. This food delivery, ride-hailing, logistics, advertising, banking. There are many things that I didn't name in this video before. So basically, ride-hailing and food delivery and package delivery, it all sounds organic, and I actually saw how it works. It works perfectly together. But then there are some things like, for example, fraud management for businesses, which is called Grab Defense, and I'm not sure how it's at all connected to anything else that the company does. And if the company can pull it off and be great in everything, it's okay. But in my experience, to be perfect in something, you need to focus on one or maybe on two things. You cannot do everything at once. And I'm kind of afraid that the service will become worse if the company will not focus on preserving it. Competition is another risk. This sector is highly competitive, and Gojek is very strong in Indonesia, and if they will not continue with this deal, in my opinion, Gojek is a threat to Grab in Indonesia, and Indonesia is one of its biggest markets. Besides that, there is Foodpanda, Shopee, and many other companies that present a threat to Grab in different segments. In Q4, Grab's incentives hit $512 million, 10.1% of GMV. That tells us that they're still spending heavily to attract new customers. And of course, there is macro risks. If the US enters a recession, global markets will be impacted as well, and high-growth, volatile companies like Grab will be the ones to take the hit the most. Don't forget about this. The stock is trading lower than the lowest Wall Street analyst price target, so we have 4.65 on the low end, 5.77 on average, with $8 on top. I personally expect Grab to go way past $8 per share if we're talking about long-term 2 or 3 years from now. Price to sales is much higher than the sector's median, but the company is growing amazingly, so in my opinion, it's justified. So I see a lot of potential for Grab, but I'm also cautious about the risks. In my opinion, this company will be successful in the future. Before I used the service, I actually created a position to hold for 2 to 3 months in hope to make some amount of money and to exit. Right now, my strategy completely changed. I decided to hold for a long time. I have a relatively big position in Grab, taking into account that this is a small, growing, volatile company. And I would be very happy to hear your opinion. What are you doing with the stock of this company? What are you planning to do? Please don't forget to support this channel by pressing a like button and subscribing. I'll see you on our channel next time. Happy investing!